and welcome to the TSI AFL studios. Matt Edwards and Robert Walls with you. The Swans are sitting on top of the ladder. They've won the past 7 games and they've got the best defence in the competition, conceding an average of 70.4 points a game. Robert, you're going to take a look at their back six.
Nat, they are a very interesting team, the Sydney Swans. They have the oldest list in the competition. They've got a heap of players who've played over 100 games, so they're very experienced. But if we focus on their defence, and you mentioned that they concede the least amount of points a game than any other team, so they are really well drilled. And one of the things that makes them such a good defensive team, if we look at their back six players, it's pretty much the same players week in, week out who play there. Now, their key defenders are Grundy and Richards, and they're flanked by the likes of Malcheski and Matner. Reece Shaw, a lot of experience in the back pocket, and on the other half back flank you've got young Alex Johnson. Now, so far this year we've had 16 games played. If we look at those 6 players, out of a possible 96 games between the 6 of them, they've played 91. So they are extremely well settled. And with that, you get players who are predictable to each other. They just know what their teammates going to do in given circumstances, and that's worth a lot of goals to a team. So I really like the way that they go about their business there. They're very settled. Overall as a team, they're settled. They've only played 30 players this year, which is the least of any club. They've only had 2 debutants come into the team for their first games of AFL, which again is the least of any club. So as far as a window of opportunity goes to win a premiership, the Swans are certainly in the middle of that at the moment.
But it's not just about having a settled back six, you also need to have midfielders that are quite good defensively as well. Absolutely,
and that's one of the strengths of Sydney. And if we look at their midfield group, you've got players like Jared McVeigh, Ryan O'Keefe and Kieran Jack. All of them cut their teeth on doing defensive run-with roles. So they did tagging jobs in the early days of AFL football. Now they've become established midfielders, but they've got that defensive mentality, and along with Craig Bird, who gets usually the defensive job on the opposition's best midfielder, these midfield players are very, very well attuned to getting back into the back line to help out their defenders. And as a result, you've got the best defensive team in the competition. They're also attacking very well in that, and we might talk about that on another day. But they're averaging 104 points a game in attack. So at the moment, the Swans have got it right at both ends, defence and attack.
And they look like a genuine premiership contender too. All right, thank you very much for joining us on TSI AFL. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.